Greetings and welcome to part 2 of the 2020 Cigar Box Guitar Builder's Masterclass, aka, so you want to build a cigar box guitar? Anyhow, in this video here we're going to do the fret slots. We're going to glue the fretboard on and carve the neck and then install the frets. So it's all about the neck. Alright, we have a lot of information to cover in this video. So starting right off the bat, get your favorite guitar and just some paper and a pencil and just trace out the fret spacing and create a template. You can do that. Or you can purchase these templates for any scale length that you want. This one here is a 25-inch scale and it's just got the slots in there so you can just mark on them. You can get these, or I go online to cvgiddy.com and I purchase these custom templates, and I have every scale length, and I just tape these on to the fretboard just like this, and I created a little template out of a little paint stick, and I just tape this to my fretboard and run it through my saw over there. I also have templates for just intonation. I have one for my just tempered, and more information on that in other videos. But you need a template. That's the bottom line. You need a template. Secondly, is you're going to need probably one of these fretting saws. And again, I get mine at cbgiddy.com. And why do I have 3? Because I'm a glutton. I use these saws pretty much for everything. You can also get these little miter boxes. Put your fretboard or your neck inside the miter box and then get perfectly straight up and down cuts by using the fret saw. I mean, there's lots of ways to do this, okay? I've seen people get squares. And line up the square. Of course, they'll trace the fret slots on there, and then line these guys up here. And this is a perfectly legit method here. Cutting it that way. So that's a great method. That being said, I'm going to show you how I do it. So I've done many videos on this little Mighty Mite table saw and the jig. So for more information, you can see the videos that I've done on that. But I will show you really quick here how I use this table saw to cut the fret slots. Here's the company of the saw blade. You want a 1/2-inch arbor, and then the thickness is 0.023. And then what I do is I set up the height of the blade to be just deep enough for the fret slot. Then, using double-sided sticky tape, I tape the template onto the fretboard, and then using the little guide here, I just go to town and cut my fret slots. This is how easy it is. Here's a good example of having to just go with what you got. All right, this particular piece of rosewood, look how thick that is. It is literally 3/8 of an inch thick. It's like, what the heck? But it's solid, oh my gosh, and perfectly straight. It's like a chocolate bar. Anyhow, so we're gonna glue it on here. So I just made sure that this was sanded nice and smooth, and that this is sanded nice and smooth. And I'm just gonna glue it up and put some clamps on it. Now it's just hurry up and wait. I did put the metal ruler on there so that the clamps wouldn't like squeeze into the wood. And I made sure that everything is nice and perfectly straight and all the glue is cleaned up on both sides. So while we are waiting for the glue to dry, I figured I'd just go ahead and redeem the time and get a jump start, notch this thing out. All right. Let's take this thing apart now. Yeah, buddy. Got a little bit of a hump I'll take out right there. Okay, let's carve the neck. All right, I will show you a few different methods on how you can shape your neck. So I'm just putting this guy in a really tight vise. All right, so that ain't going nowhere. So, planers. Now with these things here, you want to make sure that you're going in the right direction of the grain. You don't want to go with the grain just going like that, or else it'll just gouge it and then start cracking your wood. So, and this grain here is kind of hard to tell. So, just give it just a little bit of something here. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, you can. It actually works pretty good. You know, might take a while. But yeah, see, I can tell that's probably going the wrong way. I probably need to go this way with that. So, planer. You can even rock it old school with a hammer and a chisel. Just make sure you have a nice sharp chisel. Heck, you don't even need the hammer. You just... Yeah, that actually works pretty good. Again, you'll be at it for a while, but yeah, that can be done. How about a sawzall? Dang, that works awesome. We'll say you're more of a hand saw guy. It's one of those keyhole saws for like sheetrock. Oh, this one's dull and rusty. Never mind. Ugh. Okay. I have a hacksaw. Same thing. It's pretty dull. How do you cope that actually works pretty good. Okay. Coping saw works pretty good. Oh yeah, I got one of these guys here. It's got just multiple blades, and I know for a fact that these are all dull. I mean, they look pretty and shiny and stuff like that, but they're crap. I never use them. Actually, the best saw I have is this old. It looks rusty, but this thing is sharp. I have no idea the name brand, or it says Stanley on it there. But this saw here, I've had it forever, never sharpened it, and it works like a charm in basically every situation that I've ever needed a saw. This saw is like never failed me yet. So yeah, I can just see right there that would actually work. Again, it'd take a while, but it can be done. I inherited this old spoke shave from my father-in-law. We used to go get trees up in the mountains and strip the bark off and build porches. Man, this thing works great. Dang. Okay, I think I got a new favorite tool here. Wow. Oh my gosh. spoke shave. With this jigsaw, I can adjust this guy here to cut at like a 45. Awesome, man. There's all sorts of cool ways, man. And then I have this little rowdy guy. Looks like R2-D2. Wow. Yikes. That's awesome. Probably the crudest method involves the axe. And I just sharpened it. You can see the bevel there is nice and sharp. So this one here is probably better to have a support on this side here, but because it'll probably just come loose. But either way, let's see here. Ha! Psych. These belt sanders actually work pretty good too. Dang, that works really good. Sheesh. Man, this neck is starting to feel pretty good right now, as it is. But sometimes you just want to freehand it. Got to be strong for that one. Then there's the loudest one. This is probably my favorite pastime, the Shinto rasp. It's got a fine side and a coarse side. Man, that coarse side really takes off a lot of meat. And of course, this purple heart makes purple dust. Heck, there's probably nothing that you can't use. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that works perfectly. Serrated knife. Yep, that works perfectly too. I've had this knife since I was 12 years old. Not so good. Pretty dull. Still works though. I've had this knife forever too. Knives. Files are good. Oh man, I've had this file forever. This file is awesome. Dang. Never sharpened it, and this thing is just meat. Dang, that's awesome. This one here is, yep, same thing. That's a good file. Files actually probably work the best, I think. Man, that looks awesome. I have one of these cheese grater planers. I don't know what you call it. It works. All right, so there's nothing that doesn't work, seriously, except for the hacksaw. I have one of these drill bits that I can put like a little disc sander in, hook it up to the vacuum cleaner. Literally, I can spend hours and hours just carving this thing to like sheer butter perfection. But once you get happy with the shape and the contour, then I bust out the sandpaper, the coarse stuff. Gosh, I can tell already this is going to be awesome. And then we're going to start hand sanding. So I'm going to start working my way up with the grit. And what I like to do is just get my hand, the shape of my hand in the back here. Man, that really makes a lot of sawdust. But anyhow, I'm going to work my way up to higher and higher grit sandpaper. So I buffed it out all the way to 400 grit, and it's already starting to feel like glass. And while the glue was drying, I went ahead and cut out the notch. And by golly, it's starting to look like a cigar box guitar. All right, I was kind of hoping to get to the frets, but I spent a little bit too much time obsessing over this neck. So be sure to check out part 3 to see the frets.